Hey guys, so as you can tell from the title of the video, we're going to be talking about brands who repackage their products. So first we're going to talk about Hooda Beauty and the Rose Gold palette. This was a recent situation where she had her first palette, her debut palette. I mean, she had liquid lipsticks and all of that before, but she came out with an eyeshadow palette, the Rose Gold eyeshadow palette, and a lot of people really liked that palette, and there was a lot of people who really didn't. Mainly because the shimmer shades that were all at the top, they had, a lot of people found that they couldn't use a brush, like a flat brush with it. It just wouldn't pick up on a brush. So she had advised that you use your finger, and whenever people use their finger, it works no problem. But there's a lot of people who don't like using their finger. Like, I would definitely prefer to use a brush. I feel like I have more control because I understand the shape of the brush. With a finger, it's a lot more stubby. It's, you know, the curves of your finger, it's not the same as using a flat brush. You know where the edges are, you can control it better. So was it, how long, a year and a half, 2 years, around that time, she brought out a remastered palette. I think it was called the remastered palette, or the remastered Rose Gold, or the Rose Gold remastered, or something to that effect. It was remixed, something. And so many people were really irritated because not only did she put the old one, like, I don't think she put it on sale, but I think she had like hyped the fact that it's going to be discontinued. Once it's gone, so get yours kind of thing before it's gone. And so many people went out and got it, only for a couple of months later for the remastered one to come out. And apparently that had been reformulated, revamped. And I understand that you want to better your work and make it better than what it was. But the fact of the matter is that people have spent so much money just a couple of months ago making sure that they've got their palette just in case they couldn't get their hands on it again, especially if there's so many fakes out there as well. And that palette, I think there's like $60. It's not cheap. It's not like a $25, $30 palette. It's $60. I mean, that is just crazy, first of all. So they've spent their hard-earned coin making sure they can get that palette, only for you to bring out the remastered one a couple of months later. Like, what a slap in the face. I would feel so hurt and upset if that was me. So I can well understand people's irritation toward that situation, because I would be. Now, I don't know what the formula was for the remastered one, but I did notice that some of the shades were in different places and a couple of the shades were a little bit different from the originals. So you could say that you're getting a couple of new shades, but to be fair, I think that they're probably a tiny little bit different because of the fact that they're being formulated differently. I don't know. But that was a whole situation, and thankfully I didn't go there. She's been having quite a bit of controversy recently. I mean, even with the whole Beauty Bakery situation, it's like it seems to be like one thing after another thing, which isn't good. So hopefully she can rectify situations that she's been having so that going forward she doesn't have any more problems. Did you end up being one of those people who got the original and then not long after the remastered came out? Like, were you one of those people? If you was, like, let me know how you felt. Next is the Kylie Nice palette. Okay, so this is like really recent. Like, this has just happened a couple of days ago, but this video is probably going to come out a lot later, like probably a week or a week and a half later. So a few months ago, probably not even that, because Kylie churns out products like nobody's business. But she had the Naughty and Nice palette. No, I think that was for Christmas. I think that was for Christmas, because the whole theme of naughty and nice, you know, you have to tell Santa were you naughty, were you nice, that kind of thing. So I think it was a Christmas holiday collection, if I am 100% correct. Please, forgive me if I'm wrong. Anyway, she came out with the Naughty and Nice palette, and the nice one was white and I think it had like silver stripes on it. Really pretty. Now she's just announced that she's bringing out the Nice palette again, but she's changed the packaging to black. Why? I don't really understand why she's doing that. I'm not 100% sure what the situation is. Is she that adamant to bring out, like, to hit that £1 billion or $1 billion mark, that she's just like, okay, then let's bring this back out again? I feel like hold on, there's been 2 other situations where she's basically done that. So first of all, we've got the Nice palette, which has just happened, and then don't forget the Bronze palette. Her first palette was the Bronze palette, the 9-pan palette, and then she did like an extended version which was the same size, shape as the Royal Peach palette. And there was also a liquid lipstick situation where she had one color, and then a little while later she brought out another color, but somebody clocked on that they are the exact same shade, just called different things. And it's just like, and I think it's really upsetting because there's some really die-hard Kylie Cosmetics fans, but personally, in my opinion, I feel like the Kylie train is kind of like, it's come to its station and now it's leaving. I don't feel like it has the same impact as it did when she first started bringing out products. I think that there's been so many different scandals, so many different issues, like palettes stinking, half-filled liquid lipsticks, blushes coming and highlighters coming with nothing inside it. It's just an empty package. There's been issue after issue after issue. I mean, one's looking like the Cynthia hair doll. It's just been so much. I think that she has lost credibility, number one. Number two, I think it was like a fad that now she probably needs to move on to the next thing, because it just looks like, I don't know if she's really a big baller in the beauty community. She's not MAC, she's not Bobbi Brown, hell, she's not Morphe. Like, these people are credible. They are people that people take seriously in the beauty world. So I don't think she's really taken that seriously in the beauty world. Like, hopefully, like, she can get her credibility back, and hopefully she can keep this train going. But I think that she's only really keeping it afloat considering the amount of items that she's bringing out. So I think that she brought the Nice palette back. That was probably the biggest seller out of the 2 palettes, and she was like, okay, well then let's bring another one. Let's bring another one out, or let's bring the same one out again because we know that it sells, and just try and keep the gravy boat going, you know? I don't know. Next is Urban Decay. They have this velvetizer powder, but they also used to have a powder before. I'm gonna get a picture and throw it up. Somebody took the velvetizer sticker off of powder container and found that it had the same name as the powder that they discontinued previously, to the point where people were questioning, is this the same powder but you've just put this velvet sticker around it? And I don't think there was ever really a clear answer. I do remember Urban Decay trying to respond, and they were basically trying to say, you know, we're using the same, they did say they were using the same packaging, but they didn't say whether or not they were using the same product. And it was just kind of like, who knows? Who knows? It is smart to use the leftover containers if you have them, otherwise of course people are they're going to lose money. But I just kind of feel like, I don't know if it's the same product, because the velvetizer isn't supposed to be like a setting powder. The velvetizer is supposed to be like a thickening agent for your foundation. So if you found that your foundation was not full coverage enough, you can use this velvetizer powder and you can make it a little bit thicker, which will make it a little bit more full coverage. So I understand the whole concept of it, and I feel like it's a really good concept. I know people who do that anyway with their regular setting powder, so I don't feel like it's a new concept. I just don't think that it's I don't think that it's a commonly used concept. So I do believe that they could have potentially have been using the same powder that they had in those containers from that now discontinued product and just remarketed it as something different. But I don't think we're ever really going to know. Lastly is a Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. I think they had like a natural face, natural eyes. They had like this whole natural situation going, and they had one set of packaging from way back when, and then they came out with the new packaging. But the thing is, they were honest. They said, look, this is like one of our OGs, it's one of our faves, it's one of, you know, it's one of our best. It's stuck around with us for for so many years, but now we want to revamp it. Now we want to breathe new life into it, and they came up with new, more up-to-date packaging. The print on the actual powder itself is like a floral print. Now, the packaging and the print, for me, it's not my cup of tea. It's not something that I look at and go, oh my gosh, I'm so drawn to it. There's certain packaging which I am drawn to, but this just is not for me. I'm not as keen on the previous one either, but I understand where they were going. Like, we just need to bring it into the now rather than keep it in the then, in the past. So I like that they did this, and I like that they were just so open and so honest and just saying, hey, packaging is a bit outdated, we're giving you new packaging, think you will like it better, but it's the same product as you had before. The thing is, when I looked at it, I do think, if I remember correctly, that this was a little bit, have I had that on my face the whole time? I think the shades were a little bit different, like a tad bit different, if I remember correctly. Because sometimes when they repackage things, they also just like tweak the product itself to make it a little bit more, like to cater it to the demand of now. Because trends come and go, trends change. So they just might change the colors a little bit so that it's a little bit more appealing to the trends of today, which to me is common sense. So I can't really hate them on this one. Are there any repackaged products that I have not mentioned on this list that maybe I should have? What do you feel and think about repackaged products? Do you think that companies should do it? Do you think that they shouldn't? Do you think that at some point they should just discontinue a product and not bother to revamp it? What do you think their whole purpose is of revamping and repurposing already existing products? So sound off in the comments below. I'll be down there to have a conversation with y'all. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.